Hi, I'm Richard Burnett from Fiat Montreal, and I have here one of the Grand Marshals of this year's parade.
Jej Perfekcyjność, which is very hard for you to say, I know that. I know that.
Welcome to Montreal. I'm just wondering if you could tell us a bit about what it's like working and organizing Pride back home in Warsaw.
Well, it's much harder, of course. It's much more difficult. The environment is totally different. Here you have a lot of sponsors, you get a lot of media attention, and actually this time, for the very first time this year, we didn't have any protesters at our Pride, so that was a huge thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that the difference is it's big, it's huge even. And we don't get that much participants as you do. The biggest Pride ever in Warsaw had like 8,000 or 9,000 people. So that's, well, for us it's a success, but of course we should get more and more. And of course we have no sponsors at all, since even the international companies, they say that it's not good for them, for their PR, to support Pride in Poland. So that sucks.
It is an improvement from a few years ago when spectators were throwing rocks and stones at the parade, is it not?
That's true. Actually, that's an improvement that only happened in Warsaw. So our biggest Pride, because in the other cities we do have other Prides, like five more of them. There are still protesters all around. You know, the Prides which are very small, like 200, 300 people, and it's very hard for them to move actually. So they have to be surrounded by police that you know, they don't get beaten up or they don't get any rock in their head. So there is an improvement, but it's very slow. It's very slow, unfortunately.
You mentioned at the press conference earlier this week about you hosting a party that was raided by some anti-gay thugs. Could you talk to us a bit about that, please?
Yeah, that happened on February this year, and I'm a regular host of some kind of parties at my place. I do love that. Actually, there was a party for younger gays. They do have like regular meetings at my place, and while it was happening, like 5 or 6 men with the scars on their faces just like rushed into my apartment and attacked us. So some of the people hid it in some rooms or in the toilet, but some of them, including me, we got a little bitten up. It wasn't, well, no one was, you know, like injured very seriously, so that's good. But what's really bad about that thing is that they entered, you know, a private place, a private apartment. So that really, you know, scared me a lot. Of course, there was the police after, and they are doing their investigations. They tried to finish it up with, you know, we didn't find anyone who did that. But I went to the court, and judge said that they do have to continue doing that. So hopefully they will finally find the people.
Is this kind of violence against LGBTQ people back home, is this commonplace?
I don't think it's that common to people to get attacked in their own homes. So that was kind of surprising even for me, but they do attack people sometimes on the streets. It happens. The problem is the police doesn't note that as a hate crime, since there is no law on hate crime against LGBT people in Poland. So this for them is just like a regular, you know, attack. So we're trying to do our own monitoring, you know, to check how many of those incidents happen, and so the numbers are not very, you know, accurate, but we are trying to monitor that and to report that to the media to show them that this is actually not a regular crime, but a hate crime.
The parade back home in Warsaw for you is still very political and very important. What do you think when you visit a parade like the one here in Montreal?
First of all, what's amazing is that the LGBT community all over the world is supporting each other. I mean, like, we're doing, for example, inviting me here was of course a great honor for me, and being a Grand Marshal is actually like fabulous thing that happened to me in my life. But so that's really huge, and that's really amazing, because the community of LGBT people back home in Poland, they do know about that. They're very excited for me to be here, so it's really fun. In a way, it's also a political here, because, like, you know, I always say that every parade is political. You can't be non-political. So, or for example, what we did with the Russian issues. So that was also great, that we showed our support, and we showed that we really care about them, and so that's really amazing. And of course, it's a lot of fun. I mean, like, whole week of meeting people, going to parties, or just like chatting, meeting them and knowing them better. That's really wonderful.
Congratulations for being a Grand Marshal here in Montreal, and hope you have a happy Pride.
Thank you, darling, and bon Tuesday.